I hereby summon all my imps. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. There have been 10 more cards that have been released since the last time I did a review, so I'm going to do 10 more cards. The first card that we have up here is Gassy Gravedigger. Gassy Gravedigger is a 3-mana epic rogue minion card from the set that has, if you control a secret, choose a card from your opponent's hand and shuffle it into your deck. This card is interesting because it means that Rogue's going to get secrets back this time, because at this current moment there are no secrets that are currently in standard. So this set has to put out secrets for this card to be in effect. And right now we don't know what secrets would be used with this. So it's really hard to judge this. It's 4/3, so its stats aren't bad. It's about average for the stats. If you have a secret down, that means that there's going to have to be at least 3 secrets, so 3 more cards for Rogue are going to be burned by secrets. And then you get to basically take a card in your opponent's hand and shuffle it into their deck. So you have to have a point where on turn 3, I don't know how you choose a card in your opponent's hand. So, if they have 10 cards, I don't know how you choose one. That's the other problem. So, is it random? Do you get 3? Do you get to see all 10 cards in their hand if you play this? They have 10 cards in their hand and you have the secret? You know, is it one at random? Because it doesn't say at random. It says choose a card in your opponent's hand. So that's going to be interesting to see. We got to see what secrets come from this. So I'm giving this a can't really judge until I see some better secrets. Or any secrets, I should say, right now. Next up for us is the Priest Legendary, which is the Harvester of Envy. Harvester of Envy is a 3-mana priest card that says after you play a card copied from the opponent, steal the original. So, you gotta be at a point where you're playing this on 3, you have a card that you copied from the opponent, your opponent hasn't played that card, and then you get to take that card and play it again. So, you need your opponent to have a card, you to have copied the card, and them not to have played the card in order to get any effect from this. And it's, again, a 3-mana 4/3. So it's about, the lowest stats that you could throw on a card for something that's not going to have much of an upside, unless you go through some weird hoop jumping ability here, because that's asking 3 things. You've got to copy an opponent's card. Somehow. They've got to have not played it. You've got to have this down, and then you've got to play the card that you copied. That's a lot of steps to get something that might steal or might disrupt one card. Now, it's low enough that you could do some shenanigans, but that's going to be late game that you're stealing one card from your opponent's hand. Now, if you know it's the key card to their hand and you can copy it and then steal the original, by playing this, that could wreck some Infinite decks or some Exodia style decks, OTK decks, but that's asking a lot out of one card. Next up for us is going to be the Maze Guide. Maze Guide is a 2-mana neutral minion card, which has battle cries, summon a random 2-mana 2-cost minion. So it's a 2/1/1 that summons roughly a 2/2. So altogether it's a 3/3. I mean, if you high roll, you get good. If you roll, you get bad, because this can basically cast itself. Because it doesn't say another one, so you can get a 1/1 and a 1/1 for 2 mana. This is basically like, if you get high roll, you're good. If you get low roll, you're bad. This is going to be just something along the way that might mess up an evolve state where there's a bad 2 in the mix. You're looking for something good on 2. You're looking for something that's got a nasty death rattle or has a battle cry that you don't want to battle cry, like Imp or something like that. But that's a long way to go to get something like that and hope you roll high, because there are some really low costs, and a lot of times it's just going to be 2 mana, 3/3 spread across 2 bodies. And that's not seeing a lot of play. Next up for us is going to be card 4, which is Natural Cause, which is a 2 mana druid card that says summon, deal 2 damage, and summon a 2/2 treant. I wish this was a choose 1 ability. This would be interesting as a choose 1 ability. Both of these are okay for a choose 1 ability, but then you bring it down to 1. I mean, it does both, so you can go face and then summon a 2/2 treant. The treant by itself is just a 2/2, doesn't have taunt, doesn't have anything else special. Haven't seen a lot of treant synergy for druid as of yet. Not sure this is going to make the treant tag work at this particular point. It's fair because it can go face. It summons you a 2/2 that you have to deal with. It's almost the equivalent of the Hunter spell that deals 1 and summons a 1/1, just that it doesn't have rush. So it's fair, and that's all the best I can say about this card. It's fair. I don't think it's going to be broken. I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be mad at the best. Mad if fair. You're not good. I'm not sure how many people are going to throw this in a deck, and how many times it's just going to show up in a deck. Next up for us is going to be the Bog Base. The Bog Base is a 6 mana common neutral minion that has Death Rattle and Taunt, and the Death Rattle summons a 2/4 Mukmar with Taunt. So it's a 3/6 that gets you a 2/4 with Taunt. This is what the Mukmar looks like. Just a 2/4 with Taunt. It's basically Sludge Belcher from old. It basically does almost the same thing as Sludge Belcher. Sludge Belcher wasn't a bad card. Kept down aggro a little bit. I think this might be too costly. I think you could bring this down to even 4 and have this as an ability, and it wouldn't be the end of the world, because there's really not a lot that's stopping the aggro on 6. Even a 3/6 with a 2/4 that comes out, it's just a double trade. You might as well get this Divine Shield and have it just be a 2/4 by itself, and it would do the same thing and cost way less. So it's sad that Sludge Belcher isn't seeing play at this point, and that's the best I can say about it. Next up for us is card 6, which for us is the Muckborn Servant. Muckborn Servant is a 3 mana Paladin card that has Taunt and Discover a Paladin card. You know, anytime that you're given a card, discover a card from that class. It's good. And you can discover a card that's not in your deck that might help you out. You can discover something that's in your deck that's going to help you out. 2/4 Taunt for 3, that's fair stats. You're discovering something. You technically can't discover this because of the Discover rule, because it has to discover anything besides the Muckborn Servant. But other than that, that's not bad for 3. It's a 2/4 Taunt, gonna keep down the aggro a little bit. Gonna see a little bit of play, I think, because it's basically 2/4 draw card. And a draw card that you want most times, because it's gonna be a Paladin card. Next up for us is card 7, which is Batty Guest. Batty Guest is a 1-mana hunter minion card that has Death Rattle, summon a 2/1 bat. It's a 1-mana 1/1 that summons a 2/1. It's close to Kindly Grandmother, almost has the same ability as Kindly Grandmother. Where Hunter is right now, I'm not seeing why it would ever put this on the field. Not seeing where, not seeing why, not seeing how. The bat's just a bat. I mean, it's a cute little bat. I almost hope that this becomes a card on its own. That'd be a cute little bat, but it's I don't know why Hunter would be playing a 1/1 that summons a 2/1 right now. I don't know that they're playing that kind of deck right now, as long as the quest is still in play, unfortunately. Next up for us is going to be the Frenzy Fang. Frenzy Fang is a 2-mana hunter spell that has summon 2 2/1 bats and infuse, give them +1/+2. So again, you're summoning 2 2/1 bats. It's not doing any damage to face. If you can have 3 minions die before this, you're summoning 2 3/3s for 2. That's about fair, honestly. If you just had a card that said 2 mana summon 2 3/3s, you would sit there and go, yeah, that can see some play, but to have 3 things die, it doesn't do face damage. Hunter, go face, go some more. I see where they're trying to push Hunter into more of a minion-based deck, but again, the Dwarven District keeps me sitting there going, no on a lot of these cards, and that's the problem. Next up for us is going to be card 9, which is the Forensic Duster. Forensic Duster is a 3-mana common neutral minion that has Battle Cry. Your opponent's minions cost 1 more next turn. 3 mana 3/4, vanilla-ish stats, that 3 mana 3/3 is the worst stats you can almost give something at this point. What is it? It's not bad because of the fact that your opponent's minions costing 1 more. If you can get something to make your battle cries double trigger, like with Brand, that's 2 more, that can shut somebody down for 1 whole turn. I'm also going to slightly pull off the standard for 1 minute and say this becomes nasty in Shutterwalk if you do in Wild. This card might be thrown in Shutterwalk in Wild to make that even a scarier deck where now your minions cost more and now your spells cost more. Getting anything where your opponent has to spend 1 more mana to make it happen, yeah, that's bad, but are you throwing this in a deck? Are you playing a 3 mana 3/4 with a slight upside? That's the problem. I mean, you're slowing down your opponent for a turn, but to do what? To hit him for 3? That's the problem. I'm not sure if even saying skip your opponent's next turn on this card would be worth it, and then that would be the best ability is that your opponent just can't do anything next turn because they don't have the right mana. You're going in for 3. Maybe after that you can play another one of this and make them skip 4. At that point it's scary, but I'm not sure. I mean, that's the problem. It seems like it should be good. It seems like it should be scary because anytime you're adding mana to somebody, it's scary, but it's also card slots you have to put down there. If you play it on a turn and your opponent just doesn't care and just throws down something anyways because they had not the right curve at that point and could spend the 1 more mana. This card is a 3 mana 3/4, and that's the problem. Okay, and the last one for us for right now is going to be the Sketchy Stranger. Sketchy Stranger is a 2 mana common card that has Discover a Secret from another class. Interesting. Very interesting for this to be a neutral minion. It means now every single class can play a secret, get a secret. There's some ones out there that are really good. There are some ones out there that are really bad. We still don't know what the rogue secrets are going to be, and they have to have them with the rogue card coming out, which means that there's 3 rogue secrets coming down the field. So if you roll high, you can get something good. If you roll low, you can get something that maybe doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. I almost wish this had and cast it added to it to make it viable. Because there's going to be times where if you can get a secret and then cast it, it would basically save you. But other than that, this is just a 2 mana 2/2 that might get you something. And there's too wide of a pool out there with Mage and Hunter and Paladin. And technically Rogue is going to get some. And I mean, yeah, if you're playing Rogue, you won't get Rogue. If you're not playing Mage, you won't get Mage because it does say another class. So Rogue could play this in kind of a Thief Rogue. But that, I mean, it's way too much variance to hope that you get something good, especially since you can't cast it. So that's my problem with this one. That's the 10 that have come out so far. There's 10 more that I will be doing tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.